inside Dickies Arena in Fort Worth, Texas. I'm Chase Ingham with Adrian Conway, and Mike Arsenault will be joining us in a bit. We started the day off with a very long, brutal chipper, and we are going to the quite opposite side of the spectrum with this one.
Yeah, this one's Firestorm. 3 rounds for time of 11 Echo Bike calories and 11 burpees. Not over a bar, Chase, but over a barricade.
And what are your go-ruck steps to success with this one?
You know, you can understand it by the description, but it's full send. This has to be a sprint almost immediately out of the gate on those bike calories and into the burpees over the ballistic blocks. And then because of the unique height of the ballistic blocks, it has to be jump focused. We're used to a 9-inch deficit from the ground on a bar. This is about 12.
Your lane assignments for heat number 1. 10 athletes in this heat.
30 seconds.
Over in lane number 5, you have Danny Spiegel. In this first heat, first 2 events, not necessarily wheelhouse for Danny, but with this one, Fast and Furious is the name of the game.
Yeah, and I like her history as a strong and more powerful athlete within our sport. She's going to have the ability, Chase, to have some slight leads each and every time they exit that bike. Whether she's fast on or off the burpees, it could be seen, but the bike could be an advantage for her.
Stand by.
All athletes starting on their mats and going to the Echo Bike for 11 cows. And Adrian, as you said, full send from start to finish. This is one of those events programmed in a classic Castro fashion where you're like, you don't have a choice. We're going to make it very simple for you. You are going to have to go as fast as you possibly can and find out a little bit more about yourself before you get to the finish line.
You're going to find out a lot about yourself, and you have to have a different type of mentality and a different type of gear.
First off the bike, Danny Spiegel right next to her. Sung Young Choi. 11 burpees over the blocks. And Adrian, you're talking about the height of the block, but the width of that as well is one of those things that if you don't practice it, it could throw you off.
Yeah, there's no doubt, and honestly, it's not like athletes are practicing a ton of burpees over ballistic blocks probably in their garage or in their affiliate. So this is one of those unique experiences at the CrossFit Games where you have to adapt on the fly. They may have 1 or 2 in the back to practice on, but you've got to be able to identify where you need to adjust your movement and do it in the moment.
After the burpees, in the left side of your screen in the yellow top, Andrea Pinheiro had moved ahead of Sung Young Choi and Danny Spiegel. Back to the second bike. Fastest person off the bike in round number 1 is Danny Spiegel at 27 seconds. The next closest was 31.
This is where we're really going to start to see a settling in of the pace. How will this split now for Spiegel compared to the first round?
And in the air for Danny Spiegel. Round number 2. 11 cows on the bike. Back to 11 burpees over the ballistic block. Shelby Neal, hand in the air, just to the right of Danny Spiegel, but Sung Young Choi, it's to the blocks first, and here comes Andrea Pinheiro. Just under the 2-minute mark. Adrian, when does it hit? You got the adrenaline at the start, you got the first bike, you don't necessarily feel it there. When does it hit?
We're in it now. We're in it deep now at about 130 and beyond, right? 90 seconds is the turn of the energy system where you really feel it, and it's almost in your body is delayed in responding, Chase. Like if you don't hit this high power output on a regular basis, you're starting right now to not feel like yourself.
And it's going to be a fast, furious finish between 4 athletes. Straight across, Andrea Pinheiro, Sung Young Choi, Danny Spiegel, and Shelby Neal all got to the bike at the exact same time. Of these 4, on the last bike, it was still Danny Spiegel. Shelby Neal, 32 seconds was her last set of burpees. The same with Andrea Pinheiro, so it's going to be who can get to the blocks first and hang on. Coming up to the 3-minute mark. Time cap's 5 minutes. Not going to be needed. Shelby Neal, 1 rep left to go. Danny Spiegel is done, but Neal had faster burpees on the second round, and here comes Sung Young Choi. 2 reps in for Spiegel. Shelby Neal trying to close it in. Andrea Pinheiro's trying to make a move. 4 reps between Choi and Spiegel. Hand in the air for Danny. Hand in the air for Sung Young Choi. 3 more reps for Danny Spiegel. 2 for Neal. Spiegel, last rep. 20 25, 25, 26. That is how fast this is going to be. And this is just heat one. Dani Speegle had her fastest round of burpees, and she saved it for the last. 31 round one, 33 round two, 28 flats round three.
And that you can't coach it better than that, to be honest with you. If I'm asking an athlete to execute at the highest level possible, those are about as tight as splits as you can get with still negatively splitting, meaning to gain speed each round. That was well done by Speegle.
Elisa Filiano fishing out her last reps. Dani Speegle takes the heat. Again, we're just heat one of four. The time of 3:25.43.
And it was as we expected. Dani Speegle shining bright from the moment she stepped foot on top of the Echo bike. Blistering paces. There was a little bit of back and forth between Speegle and Choi. But in the end, what was able to separate Dani was her steady increase in speed and urgency on her burpees. She stayed low to the ballistic block. Her hands stayed low, which minimized the distance she had to travel. And then, of course, she focused on every jump. No reps for Speegle, and made her way across for a heat win.
Dani Speegle has the time to beat 3:25.43.